Hi everyone, it's Kay from the Paper Shed. Hope you're all doing well today. Thanks for coming back and joining me. This is part 3 of the Beginners Friendly Junk Journal Start to Finish series. So what we did last time was we talked covers and signatures, and we sorted the signatures. We covered everything in with the covers that we created. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to pop the signatures in, and then we're going to do a cover on this. Now, I've sewn some of this one because when I did it, I carried on because I've got the sewing machine out. So I did some of this. Now, I've prepped a little bit for this one, but only because I don't want the videos to be super long. I've done quite a few videos for an event just lately, which have gone on for quite some time. And I've had no feedback with reference to the length of them, so I'm assuming that it's okay with most of you. So I don't know. We'll just have to see how we go, because I wanted to get all the signatures in. That's the soft cover and the hard cover. I am really just concentrating on the hard cover for this series, but I do want to get the signatures in because I want to show you two different ways. Now, there's quite a few of us that are doing YouTube videos on beginner-friendly journal start to finish ideas. Mandy from Sunflower and Doors and Cara Renee from Be Reborn Art and Healing. They're both doing this sort of series. Now, I'm sort of following along, or I started to do it when I first saw Mandy's and thought, oh, I wouldn't mind doing that, but there's things that I would do differently. So, such as when I come to do the covers, I do my covers slightly different to Mandy. I use different glue. There's lots of different hints and tips that I thought, well, I'll do my own and then I can put my own feedback into it, which is what I'm doing. So I hope that's okay with you guys. I'm not going to do this one. I'm not going to carry on with this one because I want this one to become sort of a sort of Timmy Holtz type thing. Maybe because I've used Timmy material on this. So I'm going to show you how to put the signatures in, because this one is going to be sewn. This one is going to be elastic. Mandy's just done hers. And there was just a couple of ideas that I had after I watched hers that I thought, yeah, I would actually do that slightly differently. But it's all fine. Whichever ways suit you is fine. My way isn't the best way. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there's alternative ways to do the same thing. And so hopefully between the three of us that are doing it, there's probably many more out there as well that have already done it and probably covered these ideas. But we have a lot of new people in the Facebook group. So I would actually like to cover it from a beginner's perspective. And that's the best way I can sort of see it. So we're going to do the signatures first. And I'm going to start with the hardcover because it's the easiest. And then we'll go on to doing this one. You can make templates. Mandy did a template for hers. You don't have to. I tend to eyeball mine. I do measure and do a little bit of jigging around. But we'll see how we go. A template is good, especially if you're a beginner, but it can be a bit, it's time consuming. It's whether you get it right. It's fastening it here, fastening it there. But if you want perfection, then that's fine. You go ahead, do the template, make it the way you normally do it. If it works for you, stick with the way that works for you. We're just trying to show that there is other ways and options for you out there. So I hope that's okay. I'll get my supplies together and I'll come back. Okay, so I didn't need many supplies. I just needed 4 eyelets because I'm doing a 2-string elastic cords because I've only got 2 signatures. And I just need some scissors. And I've got this one, but I'm not sure whether this was going to be strong enough. My spine isn't, well, it's quite thick, but it's not. It's more material than anything else. But you need something that you normally make your holes in with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my pokey tool. No, I'm not. I'm going to get my pencil. Excuse me. I'm going to get my pencil. I'm going to line my spine up on my board. Okay, top and bottom. I'm going to line it up. Then what I'm going to do is I want to come down as close to the bottom and as close to the top as possible. And the reason for that is you want your eyelets to sit in, but then you also need your papers that you've already done, your signatures, to go into your elastic. And that can sometimes cause a problem depending on where you've put your eyelet. So what I want to do, let me come up the board a little bit. Might be easier. Let me move my things out of the way for just a sec, because it can be annoying. So I'm going to line it up, and I've got, yeah, see, it needs to be lined up about there. I can't remember what size spine I put in this. Sorry. I'm just going to check. So I put in, it's probably 1.5, but because of the extra gaps and the fabric, it's almost 1 3/4. So what I want to do is I'm going to line it up so that it's in the middle of my 2 squares, equal either side, so that I can see the 3 dots that are in each one and the line 3 dots. So we know that this is the middle here. Okay, so I want to go either side of the middle because I'm only putting 2 in this one. All right, so I'm going to line it up top and bottom. It's as near as damn it. I mean, even with a template, you know, if you use a template, you can still have the same issue. So I'm going to slightly mark where my middle is on the top and on the bottom, because it never looks right on the bottom. Have I got that right? Just slightly over a little bit. And then what I want to do is where my middle one is, my middle dot in my square, which is your half one. So it's your half marking within that 1 inch square. I want to put a dot here. Okay, now I'm going to have to come in slightly, but that doesn't matter. It's pencil, it'll come off. So that's where that one is. And then I'm going to do exactly the same. So make sure that it's lined up. And then halfway, so you've got, if you've got the same board, you might not have the same board. What it is if you've got your inch squares, you want to go with your halfway mark of your inch square. And that's where you want to mark, okay? So I'm going to mark it there. You probably can't see my markings, but I am marking it. And then the same on the other side. That then, it will give me 1/2 inch this way. It'll give me 1/2 inch to the middle. It'll give me 1/2 inch this way, and it'll give me another 1/2 inch to the middle. So in the middle, there will be an inch gap. And I would rather have my inch gap in the middle than on the ends. I don't know why. That's just the way I prefer it done. And I think it's because, or I'll give you a few reasons of why I prefer it. One, it's the signatures sit better. So when you've got them folded down, and I will show you when they're in, they sit better. The other reason is if I want to put something in the middle, so if I wanted to put something else in, I've got room to fit it in. So if I decided that I wanted an extra signature, I could have put it in. Am I really thinking that through? Yeah, I would rather have that in the middle. So that's what I'm going to do. I have a 1/2 inch this end, and I have 1/2 inch this end, and then I have an inch gap in the middle. Now, if you wanted yours to be exactly equal, so we know that there's more or less an inch from this edge page to this edge page, okay? At 2 inches, sorry, just shy of 2 inches. So if you wanted it in the middle, find your middle on your 2 squares, mark your middle, and then just go in 1/4 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch. And then you've got more, you've got you've got just under 1/2 inch this end, and then you'll have just under 1/2 inch that end between the 2 signatures. So you could actually do 1/4 inch and 1/4 inch. That will give you 1/2 inch in the middle. It'll give you more, just over 1/2 inch on that end and 1/2 inch on that end. It all depends on how you want to do it. So if you want them more equal, mark your middle, go 1/4 inch this way and 1/4 inch that way, and you'll have it as equal as you can get it. You could always come this way slightly, and you can always go that way slightly. Actually, do you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to go in between your 1/2 and your 3/4 mark on this side. So this is where I want my mark. Okay, I'm going to make a line now so that I know what I'm doing. And then from your 1/4 mark, I'm going to go halfway between the halfway mark and the 1/4 on your 2nd inch. So this is where I want my other mark. A bit difficult on this paper. So that's what I want. Those are the 2 lines that I want. So I'm going to just move those there. Lining up that one, I'm going to go halfway there. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to do 1/4 inch and then halfway between that one. So I'm going to come down there, and that will give me more or less equal sides in the middle and on both ends. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, I'm glad we thought about that now. Right. Now, will I get this in or will I not get it in? Truth be told, I'm going to get the big bite. So I'll just get the big bite and I'll be back. We want a big hool. Okay, so we want a big hool. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this. I'm going to use this to mark where it needs to butt up, because that's my big hole, and I want it about there. The trouble is with this is you can't see. You literally do have to guess, because I can't see where it is. So it's about there. Let me see. There's not enough room for me to be able to see because the fabric is bigger. So my line is there, and that comes dead in the middle of there. So if I put that in there, so it's even catching on here, and I'll line that up with those marks there, then I'm going to hold it down and press. I've moved it. Right. My line is here. Okay, there's my line. Okay. I'm going to have to mark it down this side here because I can't see where that is without it being, just so that it gives me a bit of a guide, otherwise I could be completely out. Okay, so I've got a line there, and then I want that line that I've made to be right in the middle of this measurement in the middle there. That's your setting measurement in the middle. So I want that line that I've got, let me just pull that out the way so that I can see. So I want that line, where's the midline there, to be right on that line there. and I want it to be quite low down. So I'm going to push it to there, and I'm going to trust that I've just done that right. Moved it again. Right, there. Right. And I'm going to push that up. Okay. And then I'm going to push. I'm going to just trust it now. There we go. Oh, that's high up. Never mind. And then I'm going to do the same with this one. I'm lining it up with that middle marking, but I'm keeping it butted up to this so that the hole is in the same place. And I'm going to pierce that one. Okay, so there. They're not as low as I'd want them, but that doesn't matter. That's the bottom as well, that is. See, on the front they're quite low, but there they're quite high. So on this one I want them to be as low as I can possibly get them, and I'm going to need to put my lines in down here so that I've got a guideline, otherwise I'm going to miss it. Okay, so I've got a guideline there. I want that right in the middle of where that's meant to be. To move that out of the way just for the first one. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up with a silver bit that's on there, because I think that's the only way that I'm going to get it level. I'm going to pull it back, line it up on the silver bit and push down. Yeah. And then this one, there's my line. I'm going to pull it back, line it up with my silver bit, get my grip of that first, and then push. And then hopefully they should be lower, just a little bit, just to compensate for that bottom bit. And plus I want them to be quite tight at the top there. Ideally, we would have got those in the same place, height-wise, from the bottom and from the top, but we didn't, so we can still work with it. Then what we want to do is we want to move that now, because we're going to put these in. And these are going to be quite difficult to get in because of how thick that is. There we go, we've got one in. I'll have to squeeze those pretty tight. And then we've got one down the bottom here. And two down the bottom here. See how much difference there is? It's because I was trying to mark it and show you how to use the actual big bite, because a lot of people don't know how to use it. Okay. I don't know whether my other ones will be slightly longer. Slightly. Than the memory keepers. I'm just going to have a quick look, although I've put them somewhere. I think they might be in this tray. Yeah, they are. I'm just going to see if the length of them is any bigger, because with the memory keeper ones, they're quite shallow. Let me see. I don't actually think there's much in it, to be honest. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to place that, and it does click into place if you feel it, and then the bit that comes down you want to make sure goes through your eyelid, and then we're literally going to really squeeze it. Might have to stand up for this. Literally squeeze it tight, because I need it to be fastened into there, which it has done. Same again with this one. I'm just going to feel for where it is, bring that down, and then just really bite that together. Yeah, I just don't want them to come out, and they're quite shallow. I'm going to do all 4. Yeah, all 4. Did we get that one? Yeah, it's a tight fit, that. So that serves me right for making it so thick. But the material was thick on this one. On a few of my others, they've been quite thin fabric. But that's fine, that's worked. Cool. So we've now got our eyelets in, and we want the top to be the top. I'm using a bit of I thought I'd got some blue, and I don't do blue very often, but I've got every colour but. So I'm going to use this cream, although I could use white. That's an idea. I could actually use white. Have I got white? Let me check if I've got a bit of white. I've got flat white. That's flat as well. No, I haven't got white either. I've only got it in the flat elastic. Oh, is that one? No, flat. No, so I'll have to use the beige. But I don't mind. It's not going to take it away really that much, because it's only going to be shown at the top here. Now, there is other ways to do this. You can feed it through and bring it all the way down so that your elastic is on the outside like this. And you'll do both the same, so that your shallower bits are sort of over here, but we want that look to be on the outside. The other thing that I want to try and do, maybe, I don't know if I've got any spare beads actually. Might be able to find some blue. I just want to see if I can fit that through there, because I bet I can't. No. I had the idea of putting some beads, and I probably have got some, but I've only just thought about it. So what I was actually going to do was I was going to feed a bead through, or a couple of beads through, so that when you've got it like this, the bead is showing on this side. That was my thought. But well, I don't know. It just would have looked nice, actually. Let me stop there and see if I've got something. Okay, so I did find some that fit, which are quite pretty, really. They're quite cute, aren't they? But, I mean, I have seen it done, but it was sort of with smaller beads that you put across there. These are too big, and I haven't really got anything. It's just that when I put the board that down there, that would just annoy me. So I'm not going to do it. But it's an idea. If you've got something that would work, it's an idea to do. So you just thread it on as you go along, and you put one at the top and one at the bottom. But we're not going to, so that was a waste of time. Well, it wasn't a waste of time, because I think it shows you and gives you some, ideas. So we're going to get this end. We're going to pop that through there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the bottom and pull that through. And then we're going to come up to the top through there, so that you've got 2 bits on that side. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to pull that down so that I can tie this off. And then all I'm going to do is tie a knot. I'm going to pull it fairly tight. And what you want to do is you want that to be pretty tight, really. That's pretty tight. Yeah, you don't want it overly tight. You want some give, because if you don't allow the give, it will rip your papers when it's in. So that one's a little tight. Just pull that through. That's fine. I'll just chomp that off there. and then we can cut these down at a later date once we know that everything is secured and okay. So I'll just put that there for now, and that can go back in my drawer in a minute. And then we're just going to add the signatures. We just go halfway, you check your papers, make sure they're all the right way up. I have actually already done this, and that they're where you want them to be. That didn't feel like 10 pieces of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it was. It's 10 pieces. And then you're going to try putting these into here. Now, I know that this is going to be a pull on mine because I got the bottom and the top. So if you can see here, you've got like an overhang of that will rip your papers. That will actually definitely rip your papers. So you can see that they're both going in that way. Okay, so my little trick for this is I'm going to hold my papers together with a clip. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my hole punch, whatever punch that you use, and I'm just going to snip a half hole in there, however big you think you need them. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to do the same at the bottom. So I'm just going to hold them, make sure they're in the middle. I'm going to pop that into there, get rid of those. I'm going to pop that into there, find your crease so that it's in the middle, line it up, and then just poke that out. So now you've got this effect. So you've got a half hole in the top and in the bottom. And I want to put a cover on this. So I would put a cardboard cover, not cardboard, I'm talking rubbish. I would put a thicker cover. So I would use a 250 cover for these. And then what happens then is when you come to put your papers in, it is a bit of a struggle because they're too big, but then that sits in there. They can't go anywhere. And then what you have is you have a straighter piece of your elastic, that side and that side. It's not perfect, and I don't want to take it down too much further, but I will put a cover on this. I just haven't got round to doing it, and I haven't got any at the minute printed off, but I will show you that at a later date. So we're going to do the same with this one. So we want to open it up. Now you can, of course, Mandy did this with her. She cut hers down to fit in that gap, which of course you can do that. All you need to do is you just need to mark. So get your end of your paper in line with the middle of your circle of your eyelet. Do the same up there and then just cut. Make a mark with a pencil and cut it halfway through there and just take that top off all of your papers, and that will fit in nicely. So there is a few ways to do it. Where's my piece? That's not the middle. Okay, there's the middle. And you are better off having a stronger outer and a stronger middle. Not so much the middle, but you will need to have a stronger outer cover for these if you do it this way. And I always tend to have a cover for each signature for mine. So just using my big one again, and I'm just lining that middle up with the middle of my circle, and I'm just going to take, I want to take a little bit more off than that, and I just want to take that off, and I'm going to turn it round, make sure my papers are tight in the middle there, and then I'm just going to line that middle crease with the middle of my eyelet, and then I'm going to make a cut there. I've gone a little bit deeper on that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm then going to pop that into there, and then that fits in nicely. And then I'm just going to make sure that those papers don't come over. Now you can take these extra longer pieces off. It doesn't bother me, but if it bothers you, then do it. It's fine, perfectly fine to do. And there's your signatures. So that's one done. So much for not making the video too long. That's quite good. So let's just get on and do maybe, because I've pre-prepped a sort of topper because I needed to sew. So I've got this out. It was like a taupe colour pillowcase, and I've used it. I love the colour of it against different colours because I think it goes with the vintagey theme, really. So I sort of wanted to put that on, and then I found some white lace and wanted to go around my main piece, and I want my lace to sort of come off the top. I don't actually think I need it. I don't think I need that. I think I'm going to have to put this on here as best I can. I don't mind if it's over a little bit because I don't really want it over the edge, although it's quite nice over the edge. Maybe if I line it up. I need to bring it up high enough because I want to put a book plate on there. So I'm thinking that at the moment. And I've sort of done this little plate. So I just want to stick that onto there, and I'm going to do it so that that hangs over that bit. Just a little. Yes, I think I'll get my brads and do that. So all I'm going to do with this, because I've done a fabric cover, now you can of course do it as you're going along, but because it's a fabric cover, and obviously I don't want my brads to show the other side, I have actually screwed them in before now. I've used the little tiny screws and screwed them in to the actual book plate, the book cover, and it's fine. I've done it with board covers and material covers. But this is quite a cool idea, is if you forget and you do want to include one, you can just make a little plate and then that can glue onto there. So I will do that, and then I think that would actually be your cover finished. I've done a bit of stitching. I might add a few more pieces, just a few more elements to the front of it, because it's already got sort of different papers, different elements to the actual paper, collaged type. I didn't want to overdo it, but I do think it needs maybe something. So I'll see how I go, but I think I'm going to just settle with that. So I'm just going to glue that on, and I'm going to have to use Collal for this. Well, Collal fabric glue, whatever you've got to hand is fine. I'm going to go all the way down the stitched area to glue it on. Make sure I get those stitches that I've done on the inside of the picture covered as well. And get that secured down. So I'm going to have to stand it up because I do want to level it with the top. I want these to come over the top bit, but I don't want them to, but I sort of want to get that level. Okay, so I'm just going to press that in, And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open it up and press it from this side, because it's quite thick. Okay. And then there's just the book plate to go on, and I want that to come underneath a little, not much. And you're going to have to centralise that. I'm just eyeballing, which is why I never get anything straight. Yeah, can I see? Yeah. So I'm just going to eyeball that, and I'm just going to get this on. So I'm just going to glue over those brad tails there. Go around it. Do that. And then make sure it's up the right way. And then I'm just going to, I've got to be careful with this, because if it seeps, you'll get a mark on the front of your cover. So. And I'll leave that to dry. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick some pegs on this bit, but only because I want it to attach firmly. I won't fit that in there. So what I'm going to do, I'll just have to hold that down a little while. Okay, so I'll get that dry, and then that will be the finished journal ready for the ephemera side, and we'll be making ephemera in the next video. But I have my children coming, so I'm not going to be doing anything for a couple of weeks. But I'm hoping that I won't be that long. I'm hoping that this goes out whilst they're here, and then once they're here, it won't be as long before I get to the next video. So I'm hoping that that's how it's going to work, so that you're not waiting, for weeks before I get back round to doing the next session of it. So that one's cool. I actually quite like that. I think it's quite nice. It's a little different. I love this lace. But yeah, I don't know. It's not the nicest one I've done, but it's it's a simple topper. Because it's for beginners, I don't want to over embellish everything and overdo it. Now, you don't have to sew if you haven't got a sewing machine and you don't use your sewing in your crafts, in your paper crafts, then don't worry about sewing it. It's fine. Just use the layered card, because that will give you a very similar effect, but it will be much, much cleaner. It'll be a much cleaner finish than sewing. Zigzagging anyway. If you was to straight sew it, then that would give you a nice cleaner finish as well. I just like the idea of the zigzag, just to give it another dimension, really. And you can incorporate the stitching throughout your journal and your ephemera. But again, you don't need a sewing machine to actually play and do these things. You can make it completely without sewing altogether. So I hope you like that. I'm going to get my stuff together to do the soft cover, and then I'll be back. Okay, so we're back with the soft cover. Now, with a soft cover, I do slightly different. With a hard cover, it's pretty easy, especially if you're doing elastic. When you're doing a sewn in spine signature, sorry, I always use this sort of graph card. It's not card; it's paper, as a template. Now, this one isn't in inches. This one is in centimeters, and I don't do centimeters. I can only work in inches. So I've cut this is 5 centimeters or 2 inches wide, which is what I want, or where I want my signatures to come into. Now we've used slightly less papers in this particular one. It's only 7 per signature, but that's still going to make it quite chunky monkey when it's filled up. So I've measured this bit from this end to the middle of there is just shy of, is about 6 1/4. And if I measure from this part here, it's about the same, 6 1/4 to that stitch line. Okay, so I know that the middle is right in the middle of that lace. Right, so find the middle of your soft cover, because even though it's not a flat spine, you still have to create a spine with your signatures so that you have got room for it to grow, because a soft cover will grow quite sufficiently if you want it to. So even though initially you will line that up with your stitch line there, because that goes in there, but your stitch line, so but it does enable it to grow, because both sides will move together to create your pouch, your cover. So I've measured the middle and it's right in the middle of here. Now my lace isn't really overly straight. I mean, it's straight enough. It's not overly straight though. And your 2-inch strip doesn't need to be the full height. You can have it wherever you want it. So first of all, I'm going to mark the top and I'm going to mark the bottom first. Then I'm going to pop it on here. Now what I want to do, because I want 4 signatures in it, we could fold it in half. And that will give us 5 squares, 5 of these squares. Okay, that will give us 5 squares on each side of our sheet in the middle. So what you want to do now is you want to work out, you need that mark anyway, because when you come to put your signatures in, you're going to want to put that on your page. So we're just going to do that and score that line in. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark at the top where I want, it doesn't matter at the bottom, well, you're going to do it at the bottom as well. So what I want to do is I want to mark at the top about how far from the top I want to come. So I want my signature, my first hole of my signature, to be about here. Okay, that's from the top of my thing. If you want to, you can make this the same height, and then we haven't got to think about it. Let's do that. Normally it doesn't bother me, I just mark it, but for video purposes, let's get that in there. And that's where I want my first hole. So I've come down 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. So I'm going to do the same from this end, and I'm going to come up 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. That's going to be my second hole. Okay, this is for your signatures now. So your middle of your signature is going to be in here. So we just fold that in half, and along that line there, then that's your middle. Okay, so when you come to do your signatures now, you have, I'm only doing a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. You can pop that at the top, and you can level it up. So if you want 1 square above and 1 square below, and then that's where you'll put your holes for your signatures. Okay, and then that'll be the same no matter where you are. So what we want to do now is we're going to keep along this line, we're going to keep along this line, and we're going to keep along this line. It's just easier than measuring. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work out how many you want to go in each side. Now you've got 5 squares, so you've got to put 2 in each, in each part. So in each inch, if you've got a 2-inch, you've got to put two signatures in each side. because it's an even number, then you don't really need to put one in the middle because it'll throw it out. If you were putting 5 signatures in, your middle one would be your middle one, and then you would put 2 either side. But because we're not doing that, we've got to allow for the gap that's in the middle. Okay, let me try and explain it a little bit better. So we have 5 squares. We need to do 2 in each one. So if we did, we're not doing the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so you've got 10, and we need to fit 4 signatures in. So you want, do we want one there, and one there, one there, and one there? Okay, so you want one here, one here, one here. I'm making these bigger, by the way, because you do still need to make this hole, because this is this one's going to be your signature hole. Okay, so you're going to come down to this one. You're going to go in 2 squares, 2 squares, 2 squares, 2 squares, and then you've got an even amount. Okay, I need a rubber. Right, I just want to move that one there because I've put it in the wrong place. Okay, so does that make sense? So you've got your middle, which is going to be where you're going to be putting your signatures. Okay, that's just for your signatures. That's not for this part. Then you've got your equal spacing throughout your 2-inch, and that's where you're going to be putting it in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this on the top there, and we're going to use, I want to make sure that that's in the middle, thereabouts. I'm going to use something to hold it down, top and bottom, to level it up. Make sure that that is following this middle bit so that they're not skew with. Okay. Alrighty. Then what we're going to do, this is going to be difficult because I've got lace here. It's going to be hard to see where those holes are. So what I'm going to, okay, so we're just going to go for it. It is going to be a bit difficult, but I'm just going to do the best I can. Again, this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Same on here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Same on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're ready to take that off. So I can sort of see where I've gone. You're not going to see anything on that side, so that's going to be hard, but we'll just cope because it's the only way we're going to be able to do it. What you need to do once that's marked up is I've got my 4 signatures here. So what I'm going to do is I need my clips back, don't I? 1, 2. So I'm just going to find the middle. I have checked all my pages and to make sure they're the right way and the way that I want them to be. That one's not, it's that way around. Okay. So I'm just going to get those as tight into that corner as I possibly can. Same down there. I always put my thumbnail, although I haven't got any left. I always put my nail into that corner as tight as I can get it. so that this is right in there. And I don't have a cradle. I did have a cradle, but I didn't bring it with me when I left the UK. And then I'm going to make sure that this is the top, and I'm going to pop that sort of equally. Oh, I don't want to move that, do I? Equally in there, and I'm just going to move my tags to hold this. So I'm just holding it into place here in the middle. All right. And then where I've marked those holes, I'm just going to push with my pokey tool out. I've probably done these a bit high up, to be honest, but there you go. That's what you get for not thinking, stopping and thinking and just getting on with it. So that's my first one, and I'm going to do that with all 4. Okay, so that's the first one. Then I've got this one. I'll just quickly go across there. Where's the middle? There's my middle. Okay, I'm going to pop that into place because it's not cut to the edge. I've marked it with this first line here on my squares, and then I'm just going to do that one, get that one inside there, and do that one, and then same again, get close to the edge, close that up and push that through, push that one through, and push that one through, and then same with this one. So all 4, top, hold it into place, hold that one into place, and then do the same again, through, through, and through. That's the third one, and the final one, which is here. That into place, line that side up, and then do the same on this one. 1, 2, and 3. So we've got all our 4 signatures now. So we've got all 4 signatures, all hold in the same place. The other way that you can do this is by making a line down. See, I've got one slightly out there. Oh, it will fold in. Okay, you can do a line. So you could have, if you could see where you were going, you can just make lines down your spines of your signatures and then follow that. But this is an easier way, I think. So we're now going to attempt to just quickly put that in. I don't tend to cut off my roll until I need to. So I'm going to do that. If you do want to do that, you tend to do 2.5 the times. So you do 1, 2, and then 2.5, and that would be enough to fit in your cover. Now, depending on which one you want at the front, and I'm not really that bothered, I'm going to start with my last one. So I'm going to go into there. There we go. That was easy. And I'm going to see if I can just find my first hole in the middle there. Okay, and then I'm going to pull it through. I've gone under there. And then I'm going to find my last hole. And I think I'd be better off doing it like this. Seeing if I can, there we go. Oh, that's the first one. I need the last one, which is there. So I'm just going to sort of slowly poke until I see it. Because I cannot see anything this side because of that lace. I probably should have waited and put the lace over because I am going to want to cover it up. I'm too low, that's it. There we go. Am I? I can't tell. Am I too low? Oh, I do apologise. I am sorry. I can't see where it is. Let me just check I've got a hole. Okay, I was way too far over. About here. There we go. And then this one will go. Oh, I can't see. Right. I'm making a bit of a pig's ear. But we are going to get there. I promise. There we go. That one was down straight away. And going down this way is easy. Now this is going to be a hard one. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to have a look to see where it is and bring it through my cover first. Obviously don't make it. There we go. And then I can just pop that through there. And I don't want to go through the thread. And then I'm just going to bring that over. I've got too much thread that way, so I want to, that's the wrong way. I want to pull that through just enough so that I can tie it. And then I'm going to pull that taut that way. You want one string over this end, and then I want to tie it up. So you want it to be quite taut and tie the first knot. And then I'm going to do a second knot, tying it the other way, which is always easier said than done. And then I'm going to do that. And then we're just going to cut those off. And then we'll start again with the next one. So there's the last one in. That's not too bad actually. It's right on the edge of there. Yeah. Okay, so next one. So this is our third one, our third journal in there. Just need some thread. Here's the end. If it's easier for you to cut off your thread, then like I said, you just do 1, 2 1/2, cut that off, and then rethread that into there. Open your middle, and then we're going to go into the third one, third hole. It will go Let me just do it this way. I'm sorry I'm a bit, it's the wrong thing to show you this on really. Purely because, that's it, of the lace, and I didn't think about it. So I do apologise to anyone that is struggling to seeing what I'm actually doing. And then it doesn't matter whereabouts you go. Oh, found that one easy. That's it. If you struggle to find the holes, just do each page, because my pages are slightly different, and I've moved that one down, I think. Sorry, I'm just going to have to take that out because I've pulled it down too far. Those two, I went into the wrong hole. Just bear with me just a second. I am sorry about this. It is hard to do when you can see, let alone when you can't. So it just makes it that much harder. So these are further up. That's it. Okay, that's better lined up. That should come into line now. That's better. And then we're going to go down this one. And we're going to go into that one. I found that easier. If I move things out of the way, it might be a little bit better. The other thing to help with as well, which I haven't done, is I'm going to, sorry, let me just get that in that middle one there, and see if I can bring it up on the inside. Okay, and then I want to come into the book. If I can, yeah, it's because you're going in at an angle. I sort of can't open it as well. Let's see where that's going. It's going there, look. I'm going to have to do it that way and then come back through with some more. Just have to find the hole for that one. Yeah, I've just missed the hole for this one. It's just a little bit too tight. Just need to loosen it up a bit so that I can get in at an angle. There we go. I've just gone through that little bit there. So just pop that. That's it. Now pull it. There we go. And then we have one over that side and one over this side. We line those up. Just give that a tug, give that a tug. Tie that up. Okay. Now we can cut that off. Okay, that's our second one in. That's it's not too far. That's not too bad. I haven't probably got that in as tight as I'd like it. Our second signature, but our third one that we're actually putting in. Same again, we need 2.5 lengths, 1, 2.5, and just take that off there. Do your needle, and to make it a little bit easier, we can put these, put the pegs on. might be an easier way to do it. Hopefully, there's the middle. I just want to check that I've got the book the right way up. Yeah, I've got that one done the right way, but I haven't got. Let me just check this one. Yeah, I've got it the right way up. It's fine. So into there, need to find this middle hole now. Oh, found that easy. Yeah, see the first one I went off slightly. If you can see, didn't find the hole properly. So I will be covering that up. And you just want to make sure that you don't, that you don't attach that. But I have, so I'm just going to have to snip that there. Just so that it's not in there. And I just have to make sure that I don't catch that the next time. This is the trouble with the lace on it. I just really didn't think about it. So I do apologise. This is the other way to secure your end so it doesn't come out. That's gone through that way quite well. And it's got to be around here somewhere. Oh, found it. I think I found it. Did I find it? Come on. Maybe about there. That's it. So I can find it there. So that's it. Got it? Okay, and then we're just going to pull this in. See, it's a little bit easier when you and to get it in that way. Should have done that from the beginning. I usually do as well, and I'm trying to rush because I want to get the video finished. So I'm sorry if this is really irritating. I've got this one. That one's gone through pretty quickly. I've just got to find the bottom of this one, and that's sort of got to be about here somewhere. Oh, is it right on a dot? No, I can't see without looking close up. This is probably not the best to. Where's that? Oh, that's there. Oh, there we go. So when you know where to look, you can find it. Okay, so I'm leaving it a little bit loose because I've got to come up the middle and I want, oh dear, stabbed myself. And I want to sort of get it in the right place. So I want to bring that in, and then I want to, so if you leave your strings loose, you find it a lot easier. So what I'll do is, now that we've realised how to work that out, I'm going to slow it down a little bit for you on this last one so that we can put one string that way, just so that I can go over it with you a little bit easier, just to make it better for you to understand. So I'll do it a bit closer. That might be the easiest way to do it, is a little bit closer. This is why I don't take it off the roll until I've done, because these are, they're not any good for anything really. So we'll take those off. So what we would do in a normal situation, I mean, they're pretty level. I'm not too bad with how that looks at the moment. That's pretty good. I'm just disappointed in this one. Didn't look at where I was putting it. And I've obviously gone through it and not thought. The other two have come out pretty good. And I've actually gone through the middle of that one. I didn't look, did I? So I'm probably going to have to put the other two through there. And I could add more on of that, to be honest, because I'm going to want to cover this up. I don't want those showing due to that mistake. So I'm about to put the first signature in, which is our last and final fourth signature. I always work back to the front when I'm doing a multi-signature like this. So let's just slow it down just a little bit so that I can explain it a little bit better and not panic, because you're not seeing it very well. So even when we're faced with a little bit of, unusual. Yeah, see, that's not too bad. I mean, it's all in the middle of that lace, which is pretty good, actually. That's not too bad at all. So I'm quite happy with the way that that's turned out, even though we've struggled a little bit. So what I want to do is I want to put this last piece in, and I want to do it a bit slower and maybe a bit closer. So I think if I just zoom in just a little bit, just so that you can see. Okay. Now I can see sort of where my holes are. Very, very, it's very, very hard to see, but I can just about see them. So we're going to take off your 1, your 2, and your half of your thread. Okay. We're then going to thread our needle. And I can't thread that way. I don't know why. Okay. So there's our thread. All right. This is our last signature. What I want to do is to make it easier. We just want to push those back in, make sure they're lined up, and then I just want to flip on a couple of these. Now use a large paper clip, use anything that you have just to secure those pages just into place so they're not all flopping around like I was flopping around before. That may be a little bit too far in. I just want to be able to get all of the, let me just come just out just a tad, just so that you can see the whole of the journal in there. That's it. Okay, so we've got that, we've got our needle. The first place you want to go is down the middle. So right down, you've got your hole there, and your hole here. I want to go right down the middle of there and out through the back of here. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is this bit, I'm going to just attach underneath there. This is just a slower down version for a complete beginner. And then what I want to do is this one has got to go in my middle hole. And my middle hole is there. Okay. My middle hole is there. I'm going to leave it loose, right, so that I can see. It's secured down here. And if you lose it, you just rethread. It's fine. The best thing to do is not panic like we've just been doing, like I've just been doing. Then I want to come up. Now, I'm going to turn it around just so that I can sort of see where this one is, so that I've got an idea of where my hole is. And I've got one there, and that one is going in a line here. So I'm thinking around about here. This is just because you'll see the holes when you're doing it. This is only because I'm struggling with, I just want to see if that's the hole. Let me just see if that's the hole. No, it's not gone in properly. No, sorry, let me just find the hole first. So it's around about here. I was looking too far ahead, I think. Yeah, it probably is about right. So I'm just going to pull that through. It seems to be sort of in line with that one. I need to pull that in a bit. I don't want to leave that too loose on my page, but I do want it loose. I'm going to open that up to the middle. See, when you've got the clips on, it's easier to open it up. And then I've got this here. I've got a hole here, which I want to get through my pieces. Now, if I can't do that, because I haven't got them lined up properly, just got to be careful that you're not getting them in the wrong place. There we go. Okay. It's still, I don't want to pull it tight. I still want to leave that fairly loose, because when you come to do the end one, there's your hole for this third hole. Okay. Yeah, I've obviously gone out of sync with this last one. There we go, I've got it in. Still want to leave it loose. Now I've got to find where this third hole is. Oh, I've got that one easy. Right, so we've got third hole in. And I still want to leave this fairly loose. Why is it being caught on there? There we go. Fairly loose, because I want to see where this comes in, and I want to see how to get back into there. So I'm just going to hold it into place. I'm just going to find the hole in that way, pull that through, and I haven't got much left to do this, but I want to find that. Then lift that up and see if you can find. It's because you need to have your needle at a certain place. I don't know why this is easier to do when you're not videoing. There we go. And I'm going to pull that through. See, it's made a big bit of a hole there, but don't worry. We've got our two. I'm just going to put my needle on my magnet, otherwise I will lose it. I'm going to pull that side through, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line that up and pull that in. That's my right way. I've taken that off. You can take that off now as well. Okay, just want to line those up. Give it a good old. So this is what happens. You get like a bigger hole when you have to mess around with it. So it's so much easier to do it when you haven't got a struggle, and it's a lot easier to do when you're not actually on camera. So I'm chucking those away, and I've actually got my third and final cover in. I'm liking this here. I like that, and I like this one here. Now this one's gone over a little bit, and I don't know whether that was me with the holes or not, or whether it's the lace that's off. So I've just zoomed out a little bit just so that you've got an overall view. I'm actually quite happy with the way that it's turned out, to be honest. I know I've struggled with it, and I do apologise. I know I'm trying to teach you how to, do this in the best way that you can fathom how to do. I'm quite happy with my stitches. I do think I will cover that. I've gone off slightly on this, and I think I missed the hole over here because it's sort of slanted. But the others have got pretty good equal coverage there, so I'm quite happy with that. I quite like this here. It's got a nice edge to it there, and the pages flow. It's fine here, look, but there's a little bit out on this last or the first one that we put in, but it also is fine here, and yet it's sort of inwards there. So I don't know whether I've gone in too far, and it should have come out a little bit this way. Let's just close that. See, I think I should have come out just a little bit on this one, but it doesn't matter. I'm actually quite happy with the way that it's turned out. They sit nice in there, they fit quite well, and we just need a closure and something on the top, and I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. So I'm going to leave this one as it is for the time being. I'm not going to continue with decoration. What I will do with this one, with the hardcover, is I will continue with this with the ephemera, and we will fill this one up for this series. I'll probably show you what I do with this as I go along, but I'm not going to be doing that on film. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I'm sorry that it was a little bit haphazard at the beginning with the signatures. And it was just really because I never gave it a thought to sort of not be able to see this part of it. And even if we'd have done it on this one, to be honest, it would have been a lot easier to have done it on this one. Purely because you would have been able to see where you were going, you would have been able to see your marks. It's just that I just got lace on it, so I really apologise for choosing this to actually do that with. But I hope you managed to get something from it, which is what the goal is. So I hope doing that last signature with a bit slower and a bit closer up gave you a sense of how it goes together, hopefully. Do leave me a comment if you don't understand any of the processes that we've done today. Anything that you don't understand, please do contact me and I will try and answer your questions as best I can. It helps me help you to move forward. So so I hope that you've got something from it. If you'd like to see more, come and join me back again on the next one, and I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.